It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
I did. Oh, wow. Right on the tip. Just on the tip.
And Blabs. Co-hosted by our friends from around the internet.
There is a portion of Norway where it is legally required to carry a firearm at all times.
If you're just a normal man looking for common sense in this crazy-ass world, you've come to the right place. And now, broadcasting from our homes from around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers.
Okay, you ready? Open wide!
Welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and SidescrollersPodcast.com. What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday to you. It is Hump Day, baby. Hi, Stuttering Craig. Has everybody got their Trumpy trout ready to go? Step in the background. Hey, we'll get to Trumpy trout in a little bit. I saw somebody mention that in the chat, and I was like, oh, got to talk about that. Glad you guys are here. Welcome on out, everybody. We got a great show lined up for you guys with so much video game and entertainment stuff lined up for you. It's going to knock your freaking blocks off. First and foremost, let's introduce our mercenary producer for the week, the one, the only, the Halloweened up, Steph. How are you?
Yay! I put up Halloween decorations. I'm excited about it. It's just
Looking
a little
sharp.
thing, but it's still seasonal. Feel pretty good about it.
I think I'm going to do Halloween's in the back probably next week or so, right in time for you to leave, which would be great.
Yeah.
Which would be good. But yeah, definitely going to do some Halloween backgrounds because you know what? It's fun. It's festive. And why not,
festive.
right? You know? Yeah, it's good. Well, we're glad you're here, Steph, as always. We got a couple more days of chaos here with us, and are you enjoying it so far? How's the week?
I'm having a lot of fun. I really like it. I love it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It'd be better if you were like, "Show sucks. I'm out."
No, I have fun. I'm learning a lot. I'm meeting new people. Like I've never streamed with or even talked to Razorfist, so that was a good time yesterday.
Razor, yeah, and I put you guys on an island by yourself for about 3 minutes, 3-4 minutes while
I
I was out
know.
there.
I was so nervous, and I had no idea what to say to him. I was just like, "So how's it going?" He left us here alone. Okay, let me
That's
just read
okay.
super chat. All right.
My dog got caught under the fence, so my dog's 14 years old. Bowser, he's 14 years old, and he feels every inch of it as he's getting older. It's tough. So yeah, he's
Good old boy.
deaf. He's like almost like 95% deaf. He's like, I don't think he's blind yet, but it's one of those things where like he's still super sweet, except for when he's not, because he's old and he's grumpy. And you know, like if you're deaf and people are walking up, you're like touching you all of a sudden, wouldn't you be like jumpy? And I would be. Speaking of jump, go ahead. Yes, Steph.
My dog. So I have two. One of them passed this year, but my other two, one of them is 10, and I can already see like the little cataracts in his eyes. They're getting a little milky.
A little milky, sad day. Hey,
Yeah,
Puppos, they are the best. Maybe we'll bring Bowser and Max in today. We'll see how they do. Curious if our friend from the other side of the ocean, Arch, has any pets. Arch, how you doing, buddy?
I do not have any pets. I used to have a cat, the best cat in the world, because he was legitimately retarded. He was 5 by the time he learned to break with his claws, so he would run up and down the hallway, and you'd hear a thump as he hit the end wall. Then he'd come screaming back again.
I love that your cat was literally retarded, which is awesome. Not just figuratively, which is good. And that cat has since moved on to Rainbow Heaven, Arch.
He has. He's dug himself a personal little hole up in the forest above my home, where he now rests.
You know, I think that's a great name for a band. Special Needs Cat. Like that'd be an awesome name for a band. Great. Speaking of special needs, let's bring in Savvy. How's it going?
Thanks. I'm doing great. How are you?
Sad, thanks for waking up early with us this morning.
Oh man, dude, my alarm went off and then I just kept snoozing it and then it said 11:50 and I'm like, I should probably put pants on. I'm supposed to do something today.
We don't guarantee pants on our show at all, ever. Like,
So
so if you
I'll
don't want
never
to,
gamble with that. I fidget
Mm.
too much, and as soon as somebody sees the white bony knee, they'll just be blinded because of the illumination. So I don't want to cause seizures. I don't want to cause unnecessary blinding. I don't want to get you demonetized. That kind of thing.
That's
Do the
right.
world
Are
a
you?
favor.
Are we streaming on Twitch? Are we? No.
no, we don't stream on Twitch. Twitch is shit.
Yeah, very shit. Because they outlawed hips the other day, but
Yeah.
only for
Oh
anime
my
girls.
gosh.
What?
Yeah, so they clarified that VTubers are losing their accounts because they're showing their hips when that's not actually the case. So then they added the lolly and Shota rule. So I would get banned because I have the body of a lolly. So that's great.
Let's not make it
That's-
weird, Steph. Let's not make it
Okay,
weird.
well,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
a
you know-
body type. I'm flat chested. Come
You know,
on.
Let me see if I can find that story because I actually bookmarked it and we were going to talk about it yesterday, but we can talk about it today if you want. Do you guys have strong feelings about Twitch's new rules when it comes to hips and?
Oh yes.
You do. Okay, cool. We'll get to that.
I
in
have
just a little
strong
bit.
feelings about Twitch, though, regardless, because of one, my own personal experiences, and two, my friends' experiences, which are even worse than mine, and I had bad ones.
Yes, there's a reason why we don't stream on Twitch. We actually moved directly away from Twitch. I don't know, probably a year or so ago. We're like, yeah, we're not going to stream on that platform anymore, just because it's such a fucking
Yep.
malleable mess. It's just everything about it's crazy. But with that said, we are live over on Rumble at rumble.com/sidescrollers. Do us a favor, hit the follow button over there as we continue to grow little by little over there. Also, we are live on X at x.com/sidescrollerpod. You could have found out that Arch was going to be on the show. You probably couldn't have found out that Savvy was going to be on the show because Blabs scheduled those all out long in advance. And then I invited Savvy and Steph on. And so you couldn't have found out that they were going to be on the show. But you could have found out that Arch was going to be on the show by simply following us at SidescrollerPod. We also have an Instagram account, which I believe Steph will ninja kick the damn rabbit if you don't follow us over there.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys do that. We also have a Kick account, and you can listen to the show over on Apple Podcast as well. But of course, the place we want you to go is we want you to make an account over at sidescrollerspodcast.com, as we're going to be doing way more stuff over there, especially once Blabs gets back. Way more stuff moving into year 3 of Side Scrollers coming up in February. So just get on it right now, man. Sidescrollerspodcast.com. But if you're new to us over here on YouTube, join the 101,700 normal men in the comment who just love common sense in the video game entertainment space. Store best to get to 1,000 likes today. No poll in the chat, which, by the way, because I haven't been doing a poll this week, we have actually seen a decline in likes per episode. So take this as your poll. Should you give it a thumbs up? Yes, you should. There you go. Let's get to 1,000 a day. But I would also be remiss if I didn't tell you that we're currently sitting at 461 voting members over at the Real Game Awards. So if you guys would like to head over there and become voting members, you can do that. Use promo code Alyssa and get $5 off. And we're going to get to that 500 goal right there. The goal ultimately is 1,000. Well, let's get to that 500 first. Over at therealgameawards.com. Use promo code Alyssa and get $5 off your first year's annual membership, which is great. So, all righty. We got a lot to talk about today. We'll get to all your super chats, your direct donations, and Rumble rants throughout the duration of the show. With that said, it is time for Today in Video Game History. And today is October 9th. I had to check my calendar on my computer. So let's see what Blabs put up today. Oh, okay, those are some pretty good ones here. All right, we got Uncharted in 2015. That's 10. What? No, that's got to be wrong. I thought Uncharted was earlier. Oh, that's the collection. Okay, the collection right there. Star Wars Jedi Knight, Dark Forces, and Fallout, the original one in 1997. You guys have any memories of any of those games?
Yes.
Old school Fallout. Interplay. God, I miss Interplay.
None. No memories.
Yeah, Blab or let's see, Steph, you're not a huge gamer, but that's okay. You're a great producer. Some other games that were missed on this list today. Obviously, Fallout was mentioned. Star Wars Jedi Knight. Other games include Mortal Kombat Armageddon for the PlayStation 2 back in 2006. The Orange Box in 2007, which a lot of people look at that as like one of the perennial collections in video game history. Retro City Rampage was released 12 years ago for the Nintendo Switch, PC, and PlayStation 3 and Vita. So there you go, Retro City Rampage. That's a nice little deep cut for those who like indie games. And there you go. Yeah, so those are noticeable games that Blabs missed on Today in Gaming History. Savvy, did you hear any of those names? Any of those pique your interest?
You said the word Rampage, and then I remembered the old game Rampage.
Yeah.
So I had a moment with that, but that was not obviously what it was about. So
What when you played Rampage back in the day, the old school arcade game, Arch Steph, do you remember this game? The arcade game, Rampage?
I think so. Big
was on
dinosaur
console.
thingies.
Yes. So Rampage, it was such a I guess a incredible IP. It had to be a movie made out of it with The Rock several years ago. Here it is. This is Rampage back in the day, where you played as the giant monkey or the lizard or
the wolf.
Yeah, I think it was a werewolf as well. Yeah, and you just take down the different cities and stuff. I always thought this was pretty fun back in the day. Fun fact, I actually owned a Rampage arcade machine for a short time.
That's cool.
Yeah. And you'd shrink down and they'd be all naked and they'd get off the screen right there. It was so much fun. So
Oh my gosh, I haven't thought about this in so long. Wasn't the wolf character was blue, and there was a really interesting eating animation with it. That's what I remember.
an interesting eating animation.
Yeah. I
Okay.
don't know, but the graphics were different. Didn't they have they had two. They had the original, and then they had a follow-up. And the follow-up was on, I don't remember what console.
Well,
It's in 64, I think.
Yeah.
Was it 64?
Mhm. Yes, they did a sequel many years later when
Yeah, because
Rampage
it
was.
had more like fur texture, and I remember the wolf character being very not fluffy, but like you could see the detail in it.
Yeah. Back on the N64. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Here's a quick 3-player game for you. Let's see if I can pull this up. Oh, this ad's gonna run. Damn it. Here we go. There we go. A 3-player game. This was really cool back in the day.
Silver. Yeah. It was multiplayer.
Yeah, that was that's pretty awesome. The hit detection on it was really shit, but the idea that you could climb up buildings and destroy them and just cause chaos. I mean, how fun is that? This is video games right here, baby. Love it. Steph, does this look like a game you'd be into?
Yeah, it looks easy enough. I like
It
easy
is.
games.
Yeah, it is for sure.
It looks simple.
So I posted a picture of the box. Is that the same one that you pulled up, or is that the second one? Because that's Rampage World Tour. That's the one I'm thinking of.
This one that you're speaking of right here is that's the N64 version, and that was the sequel later, much later.
Okay,
so.
That's the one that I had so many hours in. Wow.
Arch, did this game make it over back in the day? I don't know what the Norwegian arcade scene looked like. What was that? What was it like over
It's
there?
barely existent today. It was certainly non-existent back then, but I did play the N64 version of it.
Yeah, they almost had a claymation style look to them. It's pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
This is next level. See, you look at that one, the game we looked at before, the original one. Then you look at this, and you're like, that's an advancement right there. You can see how much stronger video games have gotten.
And that's where the blue wolf was coming from for me, because it's silver in the original, but it had a bluish tint. I guess their intent was blue.
Yeah, fun stuff, man. Fun stuff. Back when games were games, man. Back in the day, it's ridiculous.
Back when games were fun.
Back when games were fun. Oh, and all we do is just hate video games all day long. That's all you guys do, is hate video games. Shut up. We love them. We want to make them better. Girth certificate came in with a 10. So just says some normal innocent support for some normal innocent men. Rest in peace, Savvy's chest. Thanks, Girth certificate. Appreciate that. Arch, I don't know if you know this about Savvy. Actually, Savvy, why don't you tell Arch? Tell Arch what you did to yourself.
How dare you? I'm still mad about it.
Back in 2009, I was really into parkour, and I thought trading my double D honkabaroos was a better life choice, so that way I could more adequately enjoy parkour instead of having giant knockers.
So Savvy was hardcore parkour. So she decided to drop from double. You know what? I don't even think I'm allowed to talk about these things. I got a wife and kids.
Rip
What are we doing?
jiggle physics.
Yeah, right.
Rip Savvy's jiggle physics.
Savvy would be more in line. Like if we're to do an analogy, Savvy was Lara Croft, like original Lara Croft, and now she's more Lara Croft modern day.
I was about to make that exact same joke. Great minds think alike.
Look at that. We've done it. We've embarrassed Savvy. There it is.
You're not allowed to complain about a flat chest anymore. You did it to yourself.
I enjoy it. I
Oh.
enjoy it because I can roll on a flat surface and it doesn't hurt.
Oh my gosh. The chat. It's Savvy for the modern audience. There you go.
It's all my fault. This is all of this right now. Literally, the war's going on, the culture war. It's all my fault. If I had just been the e-thought with the big jiggling titties complaining about video games and censorship, everyone would listen and none of this would have happened. I'm sorry.
You ruined the timeline.
I really did. We gotta start over.
I think when we look, if we were to follow the butterfly effect of everything that's happened, it would probably go back to that moment where you go, I really like parkour. And that's where it all started right there.
I have to give up parkour so games could be good. I would make that trade, that sacrifice.
Go back to 2007 or whatever it was that you said.
2009.
Yeah, okay, 2009. Nice. Hey, Marksman came in and says Arch has been trying to kiss Cthulhu and gone mad. I posted 3 short clips on X. The whore clip is the best. A warning of too much self-reflection. Well, you know, it's funny you mentioned that because ladies, I don't know if you know this, but we actually are starting the show with some breaking news. We go to this clip that was posted over on X. We have found out that Arch is in fact a whore. Self-admittedly.
Hell yeah.
Look at this. Look at this post right here. And this is Arch. I need you to comment on this because I just don't even believe what I'm hearing at this point. Let's go take a listen to this.
I am a whore. I've never been a whore before. I'm having a hard time processing this. Am I at least like, what kind of whore am I? Am I the host kind, which just, smooth talks people out of their money? Am I the whore kind, which puts out? Am I the whore kind that, gets it? Pitcher, catcher. There are many problems here. Do you have a dick? Just, no, we're not going to go there. Anyways, moving on with video game. She doesn't quite understand that she's not supposed to contact me outside working hours, but it's hard to complain when she's basically pays my rent. Fuck, I am a whore. Except I'm being paid by men over the internet instead. Ugh.
All right. Arch?
I mean, it's true, isn't it?
In a weird way.
They even mentioned wasting money on useless frivolities that the men on the internet bought me. And, well, I have my statue of Franz Josef there. I own too many swords for any normal human being. And I own replica guns from World War II. So, yes.
Well, we appreciate you honing up and being brave this morning, Arch, and knowing that you are, in fact, a whore. There's a lot of whores online that won't own up to that fact. So thank you for that.
It was a brutal realization, but one that I felt allowed me to grow into a better whore.
Thank you for your bravery. Appreciate that. It's good. Good for Arch. Speaking of whores, we appreciate your direct donations and your super chats and your Rumble rants, including Shane Bentley, who came in with the 10, says someone finished making the flux capacitor, then let Savvy go back to a time and correct her, quote, biggest wrongdoing. Shit. It's going to follow you around forever, Sav, whether you like it or not. It's good.
Fine. I accidentally modern audienced myself. I deserve all the memes.
I love it. Beardo's Dummy Thick Peach says, a word for the wise for all you youngsters out there. Never ask a woman her age a man his salary, or old piss hands about her milk feet. Also, hail Arch and all the normal men. Let's go.
Look at that picture. It's like Gary and Jeremy are licking the Little Mermaid.
Yeah, I don't even know what's going on right there. But thank you, Beardo's Dumb Thick Peach. Appreciate that. Marksman wants this says, also, Arch, tell them about your hand-ussy theory. Okay. You got a theory there, Arch? You want to fill us in on?
No, it's too explicit for YouTube.
I like how this is just a walk of shame for Arch and I right now.
Listen, it always circles back to me. At any point, I will be the one shamed, and I'm okay with that. I will be made fun of, and it's okay. So don't worry about it, Savvy Arch. It'll come back, and it'll bite
But
me
now
in the
I really want to know what this hand-ussy
What's
thing
the
is.
hand-ussy?
Yeah, you gotta just. It's fine.
I'm really curious. You
Yeah.
gotta tell me.
Come on,
Well, this is an interesting
Just
way the direction
PG-ify
it's going
it.
to go. Okay, all right, sounds good. Let's go.
PG-ify it.
As a part of the video game, you have to summon Cthulhu because you want to smooch Cthulhu, but you can't speak the same language, so you have to carve a mouth into the palm of your hand, thus hand-ussy, because...
Yeah, keep going. I'm interested. Where does it go from there? What happens with it? Does it come to life?
It does. It has lips and everything.
I've seen that. I've seen that anime before.
Hand-ussies do. Yep.
So does that mean you actually with like a tentacle, or like are you?
Does it have a tongue?
Well, that was the question. Like, if you use the hand-ussy, would you be cream pieing yourself, which would be gay, or would the hand-ussy be a different part of some eldritch entity, in which case it would be okay?
The mouth would, yeah, because the mouth would be a separate entity. Even though it's on you, it's like a parasite technically, because parasites don't become the host. So technically the mouth would be the eldritch mouth, because a human cannot on its own create a mouth out of their hand.
Gay!
Scientifically speaking, before being rudely interrupted, it's not gay.
It's not gay. It's just attached itself to you, so you're free to use it however you want.
Now, how would that work though? Is it like a bottomless pit inside of there, or do you only have like?
Okay.
Now,
so
see, I wouldn't think I would think that it's a bottomless pit.
Okay, so she's going.
Nothing's gonna come out the other end.
She's going way too much into this. All right, we got a real Savvy back in here a little bit. Okay, that's just the.
It's a complicated logistical issue.
I want to know.
Very interesting.
Well, I'll tell you what, this seems like a great conversation to have, not at 11:25 in the morning. In the middle of it. I know. I did this. That's okay. That's okay. This is a post show. This is a Side Scrollers podcast exclusive conversation over here where we can't get banned for hand-ussies. What? I did not expect to say that today on the show. Savvy,
You're just upset that Arch is more cultured than you. This is a very cultured conversation with a lot of nuance and science.
That is true. It's a very complex conversation.
Please continue. Go ahead.
That was part of the game, right?
That was part of the game, yes.
Okay.
But you play as a girl in the game.
No, you play as D in the game.
A male character?
Man,
Yes.
his name is D.
Yes. And he changes his entire personality and hair color depending on the girl he's trying to get with.
Like a proper whore.
Yes.
Good for him. What is this game? Can you send it to me?
It's called Sucker for Love. And it's
Yeah,
about
it is.
seducing Cthulhu.
Yeah, it's called it.
All right.
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to go buy that real quick.
Oh my God! If somebody can gift that to Savvy, she'll be playing it by the time the show's over, which will be great. Gonna go right into streaming. What's it called again, Arch? Hand of love.
Here it is.
Sucker for
Oh,
Love.
sucker for love. All right.
There we go.
Great. Well, listen, we tackle the important issues here on the show, and I'm glad we're here to have these important hand-ussy conversations. So thank you for that. You know who really enjoys it? LJ O'Rourke, who is a brand new member to the show. Thank you so much for your monthly support. And listen, this is your preeminent home for hand-ussy conversation with Savvy and Arch. Thank you very much. Joey came into the tin, says, so if Savvy ever got in a plane crash at sea, she won't have her knockers to keep her afloat. God
I do
damn.
sink very quickly, yes.
Straight to the bottom. The Reverend Woodrow Goodshine Ministry says, my homie handed me a VHS of Legend of the Overfiend and a joint. He told me to smoke the joint first. Okay, well, have a great time with that. It's good. Reddy says, shut her down. Shut down her hentai talk, Craig. Shut her down now. Oh, my God. Then we got Anti-Woke Academy for Arts and Scientists. Says, Savvy did it without chest scars. She should start a consulting firm for natural transitions. There you go. Look at that. Worthy One came in and says, don't worry, Savvy. We'll still have the ones in the air for you. Also, ones in the air for Arch 2, y'all. That's the ones in the air. That's a wrestling reference right there. Oh. Mercenary came in and says, hey, Arch, having an argument with Dev on X on him. He is wrong. All right, Mercenary. Well, good luck with that. Hopefully all is good. Look at this. Kane's Brain came in and says, hey, Craig, the ActMan did say on Twitter he's more than happy to talk to people about DEI and politics and gaming. I think that this podcast and him can have fun together, especially if Razor and Kirsch is on the podcast as well. That would be an interesting conversation if we got Razor and Kirsha and that dude on the ActMan. I said I'm not super familiar with him, but I think if you have people like that together, if we can facilitate a conversation, hey, let's freaking go with it. Kane's Brain, thank you very much for that. And speaking of life support, congratulations. Thank you for this. Look at that. Look at that, Kane's Brain. Let me get that out of the way. So yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it comes down to, are people interested in seeing that conversation? And I think if we can facilitate a conversation like that, then let's stink and go with it. So I know.
But is he capable of actually talking about business, or is he going to just talk about the reactions of people around the word woke?
He'll probably be talking about the reactions of people.
Yeah, I don't think he's capable of actually having a fruitful conversation about the business practice of it. He will always try to draw it back to people's reactions of it.
It'll be a very circular conversation.
There's actually a very interesting and wide, complex topic there upon because right now the right wing, quote unquote, is coming back into cultural power. So we are going to have to consider a lot of issues when we do. Ghost of Yorte, is it enough that there is one very woke person or two working on a game to look at the game and go, okay, this is probably woke? And how do we react? How much information do we need? How much proof do we need? Is it a good thing to cancel games for being woke? And looking at the industry today, probably. And it's also the simple fact that they mentioned as well that people were ragging on woke video games because it was popular. It earned them clicks, right? Okay. That is probably true. But that also then speaks to a deep-rooted problem within the games industry. If there wasn't an issue, nobody would want to watch a man complain about video games.
Yeah.
Right.
We're in an interesting crossroads for a lot of content creators because Frost, from the guy formerly part of Second Wind, he had actually quote tweeted somebody, and I read through the thread, and people were basically complaining about reactionary content doing better. This one guy posted his own video views, and so he posted happy videos that got a fraction of the viewership as the one that was news oriented or what was being labeled negative. Yes, news can do better, but at the end of the day, there is so much more happy content being put out about video games every single day. You have people talking about the liminal spaces in video games, and they've got 500,000 subscribers with 500,000 views on each video. You've got people like Hypercharge who just does these passionate retrospectives. And he does really well with those. So to say that reaction content is the only thing that people are watching, no, they're watching it right now because it's relevant to the news cycle. People want positive game news. Nobody likes what's happening. But to your point, there shouldn't be a need for that content anyway, because we shouldn't be having these discussions. We should just be able to talk about the video games. We didn't have massive reactive content around negativity back in 2010 because this stuff wasn't happening back then. So those arguments don't make sense to me.
Right. And I think that's I've said this many, many times before. I would love nothing more than to not have to do side scrollers in its current form. But the reality is, and I was talking to somebody last night about this. They're like, well, what do you do? And I was like, well, I talk about video games and the culture aspect of it on, every day. And they're like, you can talk about that every day. I'm like, yes, because the video game industry is the most batshit insane industry with the biggest divide between the developers, the media, and then the ultimate customers that I've ever seen ever. Like, this is the most broken ass industry in the world. And it wasn't always like that. So why do we talk about this stuff? It's because we care, right? It goes back to a lot of these people, they never had a parent who was hard on them, right? Who saw big things in them, right? So you hear about these kids who they have super disciplined parents and they that they see potential in their kids. So they try to keep them on the straight and narrow, right? I feel like at this point, it's almost like we're trying to act like the parents who are like, yo, we see so much potential in you, video game industry. We've seen it before, but you're slacking right now. You're slacking. So let's get you back on track. And let's get you to where you rightfully belong. And right now, the video game industry and the traditional access media, they're the ones going like, no, I'm fine. You don't even know what you're talking about, whatever. Whereas, ultimately the customer is speaking with their wallet, and you're seeing failure after failure after failure and success after success after success for the people who are like, yeah, we're just going to make some cool video games. It's a reoccurring theme along the way. So,
and Arch brings up such a good point too, that, we're going to see the pendulum shift, and then it's going to be another type of conversation that we will have to have. But most people, most sane people, most people with a decent following don't want they don't want what's being labeled woke as not existing necessarily. They just don't want their franchises changed, because there is an obvious thing happening where they're taking over them because they know that they won't make as much money if they just release a brand new product. Like, my biggest thing that I always say, almost every single post, everybody should have creative freedom. I want censorship to go away for everybody. But that censorship conversation is nuanced. And so when you come in and you change a company, when you tell them Lara Croft is a problem, that is a form of censorship that you are engaging in by stating something is problematic on arbitrary morals that don't actually mean anything and that are a social construct of your own little imagination. And that's not okay. That's what we're against. So if the pendulum swings back hard and then suddenly the Catholics are back saying Pokemon is demonic, we're going to be having the conversation again about how censorship bad. Oh.
So here's the post that you were talking about. This is from Cult Classic Cage at Mario Kart over on X. Nice handle, by the way. Hell yeah. Way to snag that one. Says, so I decided to do my best to cover positive content or games instead of woke discussions / salt content. And guess what? It leads to bleeding interesting in your channel overall. It's almost like the whole "why don't you talk about games" crowd is just moral grandstanding, right? And this is, she has a thing here talking about how she got more views talking about, the negative aspect of this. And once again, I have a degree in journalism. This is not new to anybody, right? There's a phrase that goes back to the 1890s, turn of the previous century, that was instituted called. That's if it bleeds, it leads. You guys ever heard that before?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Old statement from the newspaper back in the day. People say, oh, clickbait content on YouTube. Congratulations. You just learned about journalism 101, right? What was the objective of a newspaper? To get you to buy the paper. Why do you buy the paper? For the headline, right? The headline that says 3 people die in disastrous fire. Instead of, more people are going to buy that one as opposed to, it was a wonderful day and the man took his dog for a walk and it had, people naturally, like we talk about the idea of the car wreck, right? People naturally are going to turn and become rubberneckers and look at the car wreck and the carnage as they go by. That is natural human instinct. And that's just the reality of it. This is much bigger than YouTube. This is why when you turn on CNN during COVID, they had a COVID death counter going up the entire time. the anxiety attached to it. That's why when you turn on the news today, it's all about Milton. It's gonna wipe out Florida. It's gonna be crazy. Everyone's gonna die. And this is the storm, whatever. That's why there's always something to keep you engaged in this. This is way bigger than YouTube, way bigger than the video game space. If you were to go into the health space, it would be the exact same thing. Why seed oils are bad for you, why whatever is bad for you. This is just the reality of media, and this is bigger than the United States. This is everywhere in the world, and it will be this way till the end of mankind. It's just the reality of it.
It also has to do with the complexity of the conversation too, because positive content, when you say, oh, hey, Alien Isolation 2 is coming, I'm super excited, you're going to be saying the same thing as 700 other people, because there's only so much you can say about there's a new game, I like the game. But if you look at a game that is woke, you've actually got a lot more of a conversation there. Why is this negative? What is the history behind it? Why are we reacting negatively towards it? How can we fix it? It is a much larger conversation. The same is with If It Bleeds, It Leads. Like you mentioned the house fire, figuring out why those 3 people died is a lot more important than figuring out why the other 73 people made it down the fire exit as intended.
Right. I think you're 100% right. But I think that anybody, like when you go back, people have... The internet has changed, right? Obviously, I've been doing this for a long time, probably longer than pretty much anybody online, right? Outside of, I can think of like Mega 64 is the only group that I can think that was started up before me doing this. And I've seen a dramatic shift in how content is consumed online. Previously, you could just do a little review about, I'll give you a great example. Back in the day at Screw Attack, we used to do a series called Reasons We Love and Reasons We Hate. And we would pick a game, let's just say Call of Duty, right? And it would be 25 reasons we love Call of Duty. And it was meant to be really, really fast-paced, right? This is why. This is what we love, blah, blah, blah. And then we would do 20 reasons why we hate Call of Duty. And it was me and it was Evil Craig, right? And you hear this all the time. The hate videos did 3x the views of the positive videos, right? Was it the character? Nah, probably not. It was just the idea that it was so over the top and stupid and ridiculous. And there was a negative aspect to it, right? You go look at anybody's channel, it'll be that way. That was a huge eye opener for me. And that's when I really started to notice the shift back in the day. So, I mean, I know this all started with a super chat. Asking about the ActMan thing. I think that'd be great. I mean, I don't want, if we had ActMan on, I think it would make a whole lot of sense to simulcast the podcast on Side Scrollers and his channel and anywhere else that, Kirsch's channel or whoever, make it a big event out of it and let everybody have their say. Do I think anything would really be accomplished? Probably not. But it's worth having that conversation. I think that's one of the big differences between quote unquote our side and their side is that we are willing to have that conversation. And there are like people who label ActMan as like a fence sitter. I don't know the guy, right? That's just things I've seen thrown out about him. He's a fence sitter and he kind of goes both ways. So there's people on our side, then there's the fence sitters, then there's people on the other side. And our side is willing to have those conversations where this other side is like, well, they're not even worth having that conversation. Why would I devote any time? They're not worth it, right? And then all they do is complain about it. Whereas action needs to be made. So anyways, I feel like I went on a long tangent about that. But what do you, any thoughts on that, guys? Nope. Savvy, anything?
I'd just say it's difficult to want so I don't view him necessarily as a fence sitter. I think he's somebody who tries to present himself like so Grums had made a post about it and I just said, I've come to appreciate him and people mistook that as liking him. I appreciate the way that he phrases things. I think it's fascinating because people think he's a fence sitter. He's not. He very clearly has a side and he thinks that his opinions are correct. He's kind of like how kind of we are. Like you're willing to have a conversation, but you know, he's gathered information and kind of come to the wrong conclusion, perhaps intentionally, because it will do better for engagement and numbers. And I don't mean that like he think that he's claiming, oh, there is no wokeness in game for the sake of, because he's wrong. I think he's doing it intentionally to garner more views and things like that. I genuinely don't think that if he's looked into the business side of things, there's just no way that he could come to some of the conclusions that he has, which is why I say that everything that he's done would be based off of reaction instead of the actual facts. And that's where I don't want to waste my time. I don't know.
Right. And once it goes back to feelings, right? Everything is built around feelings and reactions as opposed to data, where you'd rather talk data as opposed to,
like I want to be able to sit there and say, okay, like, Ubisoft, hired this many people with gender studies backgrounds and they expanded their HR department during this time. This is also when they started bleeding money more seriously. Let's talk about, the pattern of behavior versus what people are reacting with, because people online are going to react in extreme ways. Once you have a nameless account, they're going to say ridiculous things, but they don't represent the entirety of the argument. And what people like him do is they cherry pick that and then they try to claim that they do. There are people having intelligent discussion, and it doesn't matter what some lowlife with 0 followers is saying. What matters is the business data. But at the end of the day, the business is going to do what the business is going to do. And if the business goes out of business, that's that.
Right. Well, and that's what we're looking at. We're looking at companies like Ubisoft that are literally struggling to stay afloat at this point, despite being multi-billion-dollar evaluation. So,
yeah.
Pussy Slayer 3000 has come in.
Oh yeah.
Says a big thank you, Craig. $50 for you and your fantastic guests. Keep on killing it and keeping it real. Hey, we will definitely keep it real there, Pussy Slayer. Thank you for that. I had to put a P because I don't want to put pussy on my wall because my daughters are going to walk in. But thank you, Pussy Slayer 3000, for your generosity. And while I get you on the wall, Steph, why don't you read off Mark's super chat?
All right, Mark Diaz for 20. As a Christian, I can't stand censorship. When Pokemon is Evil was going on, I looked at them as if they were crazy. We need to stand up and speak out. That's a big reason I love the show. Keep up the great work.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that greatly. Nathan also says, what bothers these people complaining about, quote, reactionary content is the content that gets criticized is their beliefs and morals. They have become the D&D is devil worship crowd, and they hate it. That's another thing that we've seen along the way. We've seen this shift in ideology in a major way, right? There's almost this holier than thou aspect of things. It's like this the media and developers have become the church lady from that Saturday Night Live skit back in the day, the church lady with Mike Myers, who was all everything's the devil, and except for the things that are blatantly devilish. Joey says, I've always said, if you want to make a woke game, then come up with something new. Don't mess with pre-established franchises. Otherwise, you're just going to turn people against you and your ideals. And you know what, Joey? That has been done. We've seen it. We've seen games that have been woke along the way, and they have failed tremendously, like Concord, like Dustborn. We've seen these games and other games that have woke ideology. Steph. Don't you read it. Don't you read it. Don't you read it. Hypnotic came in and says, Steph never reads my super chats. I'm jealous. Sorry,
Hi,
sucker.
Hypnotic.
Sorry, sucker. All right. Also, Norm came in and says the current video game industry is like Boogie and DSP, and that there are people who are at a point wanting is that they are people who at one point wanted to see them succeed, but they turned down any opportunity to improve or do better. Good point, Norm. Appreciate that.
That's the saddest thing, though. Because it is, and the other side absolutely misrepresents that all the time. Like, oh, you guys just want the game industry to burn for the sake of it. Like, No, you have taken something that we love, an established franchise that is older than you, and you have come in and said that you can do better. You have deemed something a problem when it never was. That problem sold millions of copies worldwide. Women dress up as the characters, men worship the environment and the storytelling and whatever. You have these beautiful worlds that are being butchered in the name of somebody's narcissistic beliefs. And it is so incredibly soul crushing because there are so many creative and talented people out there who have shame, who will never be able to be recognized by the once great icons of Square Enix, Sony, Nintendo, whoever. They will be overlooked because they didn't lie on their resume. They didn't use Victim Olympics. They didn't use the benefits of ESG pushed by Larry Fink, who is now being sued for his misrepresentation of DEI. They will never get to even taste that little itty bitty bit of recognition. Thank God for the internet today, because if we didn't have ease of access to making video games and the ease of access of YouTube for advertisement and the ability for anybody to go viral on Twitter or TikTok, we wouldn't be able to experience their creativity. Thank God for that. That is the one benefit to all of this.
Love it. So I think we're going to reach out. You know, if you guys would like to be a part of this conversation, like, let me know. But I'm definitely going to reach out to Kirsha. I'll reach out to Razor. Obviously, if you guys would like to be a part of it, I mean, I think it's worth having that conversation. Now, like I said, what I wouldn't want in that situation is for anybody who came on, ActMan or whoever, to come on and be like, I got dogpiled. Didn't have a chance to speak.
That's
right? Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah. It needs to be a good conversation, an actual back and forth. I think that's where people gain value from that, as opposed to just an onslaught of blah. So Kerm came in and says, I think Dev said he'd also be interested in talking with the ActMan. And not sure if he'd be a better candidate than Kirsha. But him being more centrist might make ActMan more receptive to listen. Thanks, Kern. Appreciate that. And so Kirsha is going to be on next Thursday, which should be a great show. And Savvy will also maybe be joining us as well, which, if you want to have a hand-ussy conversation, that'll probably happen then too. So possibly a foot and any sort of orifice conversation. But we will, I'll definitely talk to Kirsha about that. And like I said, anybody who's willing to have that conversation, it's worth having. Hex Forge says, while I agree if it bleeds, it leads is true, it does seem like award shows are more successful if positive. There are negative award shows that I can think of, but none as popular as the positive ones. Yeah, that's a good point. Like with the Real Game Awards, we have 20 positive awards and 5 negative awards, because I think the negative awards are super fun to do. Like, why not? Why not just point and laugh? There's enough to point and laugh and make fun of on a day-to-day basis here. So why not do it with an award show? But I think the main reason why the negative award shows aren't as successful is because sponsors don't want to be a part of it, right? And that's why it's important for voting membership, and that's exactly why the Real Game Awards is what it is. It's that way so we don't have to worry about traditional sponsorship and corporate sponsorship. No corporate bullshit. When we say this is your award show, it's your award show. There's nobody chiming in behind the scenes. It's all built around you. So once again, use promo code Alyssa and get $5 off your annual membership at realgameawards.com. Good God. Look at this. Steph, this is ridiculous. Please read out loud Matthew's 100 Canadian monies. Oh, and you're muted.
Muted.
Steph. Oh,
Muted.
She's talking to herself. She's muted. Oh, damn it.
Dang it. Okay, I'm typing, and when I type, I bash my keyboard, and I have to mute because it's so loud that I mute myself so I don't interrupt or disrupt the conversation, the flow of conversation. I'm trying to be polite. Okay. And then I forget I'm muted. All right, Matthew, for $100. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you all so much for everything you do. I don't say this too often, but I sometimes see myself as a bit of a loser. How dare you? Don't say that about yourself. However, when I tune in to watch your show every morning, you make me feel valued and understood. For that, I am incredibly grateful.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you so much. And if we can provide, I think that's the thing is Matthew, you're not alone in that most normal men have looked around at everything that's happened in society over the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and they're going like, "Yo, what the fuck? Like, this ain't right." So the idea that you would feel disenchanted is totally natural, and I think that's why this show exists, right? You were not disenchanted before all this insanity started happening, before your games and movies and entertainment were co-opted and by all this other bullshit. You were fine and happy, and then all this other stuff happened. You're like, "Whoa, why is that happening?" I totally get it. And congratulations, Matthew. There's some breasts.
Woo! That's what Savvy gave up.
God damn it.
Don't you ever forget it, Savvy. Oh my God. An anti-woke Academy for Arts and Sciences came back with the $9.99. Says, this isn't right-wing culture. I know plenty of people that consider themselves left and center, but reject woke extremism. Bingo. They would never vote Trump, but want zero part of this either. Right. There you go. Exactly. And I think that's going back. You know, I posted this and I've pretty much thrown the run sheet out the window today because I think this is a really no, this is great. This is actually a really great conversation. But this goes back to yesterday we talked, there was this poll that was being passed around, and it was like 95% of gamers, inclusivity is not important to a game experience, right? And we all saw that being passed around yesterday. Did we see that? Yeah. Well, we talked about that yesterday, and I noticed there was only like 691 votes on that. So I posted this yesterday as well, and it was just like, is inclusion important to you in video games? That's the exact verbiage. And I knew that we can get over 691 votes, but it's an even larger landslide on my poll. And some people are critical of this poll, saying like, hey, your audience isn't into this stuff, so why would they vote otherwise? And my response to that is that literally anybody can quote tweet this and ratio the shit out of me at any time. But the reality is that 97, 95, whatever percent, the landslide amount of people, they don't need this stuff. It's not important to them. So why are we catering to this 2.5%, this 5%? Once again, this is not a right-wing thing. This is an extremist thing that is being put in to the games. And the right wing aren't the only people who have a problem with it. Literally everybody has a problem with it. 97.4% of people want nothing to do with this, right? And it's not important to them. So why are we dealing with this stuff? So because it's thrust into the chaos. All right. Does anybody have any closing remarks before we move on from that? Because that was a really good conversation. All right.
None.
Okay, good. This was funny. I'm sorry. I gotta show this off. We talked about this yesterday on Tuesday night's main event. But god damn it, it's so freaking funny. Look, I don't care who you vote for. I really don't. You guys go out and vote for whoever you want. I'm never gonna tell you who to vote for. But this is just funny as shit, because as soon as I see a Kamala fish, I will feature it on the show. But now we have Trumpy Trout. Have you guys seen Trumpy Trout?
Yes.
Arch?
I've not seen Trumpy Trout.
Arch is going to be interested.
Arch, you're going to love this shit. Okay. Once again, this has nothing to... Show me a Kamala fish, and I will promote the shit out of this on the show. Check this shit out.
From the 45th President of the United Ponds of America.
Let's make fishing great again, okay?
He's here, everyone's favorite fish, Trumpy Trout.
No one has ever seen a fish like me.
Trumpy Trout is an animatronic talking fish with a big personality.
I am the hugely bigliest fish in the pond.
Watch his fins flap and his large mouth move as he makes speech after speech in high-fidelity sound.
Okay, I'm sorry. Arch, just for a second, just your initial reaction to Trumpy Trout.
I like that he's makes speeches in high fidelity sound.
I love
very,
that.
very important.
I love that people are so enamored by Trumpy Trout that there are 5 people with their phones staring at the inanimate Trumpy Trout object that they just have to capture every second of it. I love everything about this. This is so fucking stupid.
I hope we've sold some. I hope some people have quietly bought them. They'll never admit to it.
You know what? Maybe, like I said, you make a fishy Kamala. I will buy that as well. Maybe I'll buy a Trumpy trout and we'll put it on the back wall over here just for gigs.
Oh my gosh, you should.
Oh, that'd be so fucking funny. Let's just watch another minute or another 30 seconds of this.
Some bass are bad fish, crazy fish, criminal fish, and druggy fish. But some bass are good fish, and I only love some of them.
Mount him to your wall or use the built-in stand to display him proudly on your desk. Now you'll never miss a Trumpy trout rally.
I'm sorry. I just go. This is a Trumpy trout rally. Look at all these white people standing around the Trumpy trout taking pictures of it.
I mean, they invited their neighbors over to see Trumpy trout.
Oh my God, this is so freaking funny. Unbelievable for sure. Arch, I mean, I don't really know what to say outside of I just want to hear what you have to say about this.
I like that somebody suggested that you need to have it on the desk next to you at all times. It needs to be nearby.
At all times, and there's actually later on we get this scene which further pushes this home, this idea of you have to be looking at it at all time
with desktop stand and
I love that this guy is just writing in his memoirs and looking down at Trumpy trout, just thinking about life. Thank God I got Trumpy trout. Sav, on a scale of 1 to 10, rate Trumpy trout as an invention.
Look, I honestly think if it was brought to scale and given to every person in the world would be a better place.
God, I love that. Brought to scale. The inventors of Trumpy trout would be very happy for that. Could you imagine 1 million Trumpy trouts all speaking at the exact same time in unison in stereo across the United States?
That would be art. Actual artwork.
Anyways, maybe
I actually, when I saw this, I only saw a photo of it. I thought it was a joke. I didn't realize that it was actually something you could buy and bring into your home.
Yeah. Well, you don't necessarily have to bring it into your home, Steph, because there's more here. If you like, you can drive it in your car and have the media go crazy for it. Check
Oh
this out.
no.
are limited, so don't miss your chance to hook the greatest fish of all time.
What the heck?
This is fucking brilliant. I'm sorry. I love everything about this. And once again, make kamalacatfish.com and I'll buy that too. And it'll be like, I grew up in a middle-class neighborhood.
Middle-class pond.
You're right. Oh my God. That's brilliant stuff. All right. Holy shit. Please stop. Everybody stop what you're doing. As NCO Cham, I just probably butchered that. It's a side stroller just doing the Lord's work. My God. That's the highest cheer we got. Look at that. My God.
Woo!
Wow. Thank you so much. You got the zoom in action right there. Thank you very much for that ridiculous support. You're going on the wall as well. Thank you very much for that generosity. Enjoy. You know what? One more time, because that's just insane. Thank you for that. Wow.
Yeah, it is. Again, this is what could have been, Savvy.
God damn it.
Could have been.
You know what's funny? She's got the same freckle I do, actually. This could be my long-lost twin sister.
Was it like right here?
Yeah.
I have one there too.
Twins.
Yeah, I have one there too.
We are freckle twins. Let's go. Oh, wow. All right. Hey, look at that. That's awesome. Thank you very much for that. Steph, why don't you read off Doc Mars right there?
Doc Mars for 10. None of us are losers just because our institutions decided to alienate all of us for the crime of being stable. Champion your normalcy and never stop fighting for it. Don't let them demoralize you.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
There you go, 100%. Doc. Great stuff. Great stuff right there. That's great. All right. Let's go and move on. We'll just skip the hard news intro today and we'll just get on to some other stuff. We're long past that point. Let's go some quick hits here. Good discussion today, guys. Appreciate everybody popping in. If you guys are new, Do us a favor and hit the subscribe button right here. Really appreciate that. It's funny. This is pointed out here in the chat. It said, where was it? I want to make sure I saw this. It said, oh, where was it? Yeah, here you go. Vegas Goss's. Craig is like stuck in his teenage years. Once again, I would like to point out it was not my idea to bring boobs into the show. That was 100% Blabs. My job is just to press the button right now because Blabs is not with us. So
I appreciate it. I respect the boobage.
Everybody loves boobs.
Yeah.
Like, well,
Gay men love boobs.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves boobs.
Yes. And if you don't, you're not a normal man.
The more you stare at boobs, the longer your life cycle. Okay, increases your life cycle.
This
The longer you live. It's science. The longer you live.
We lost one.
That's okay. I'll tell you what.
The boob conversation was too powerful.
Actually, I'll give you guys a Blabs update in just a little bit. But let's do it. Let's do it. It's time for my favorite segment.
What's she doing? She's living her best life out there, man. I'm so jelly.
I'll show you what Blab's been up to lately. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It is time for hard news. As we wait for Arch to rejoin us, you guys were asking about Blabs, and I just think it's really important to show you what she has been spending her money on over in Japan. This is a reality. There are all sorts of different vending machines while you're over there. You have vending machines for food, drink, and various other items. And if you guys didn't see over on X, she posted a video of this, and I'd just love to see y'all's thoughts on this. Is she put money into the machine, and let's see what Blabs gets out of it. She takes it out.
I think it's that's the wrong tab.
Wrong tab. Oh, here we go. There we go. Sorry about that. Yes, that we're gonna get to Hawk 2 in a minute, but let's keep going. Here we go.
Sexy.
What the heck is that?
Is it like underwear or something? You could use panties.
Underwear.
He's laughing.
Did she really get a thong?
Hell yeah.
Smell it.
Look at that, huh? So
that's my girl.
There you go. She's having fun.
I think she's enjoying it way too much over there in Japan. So we'll need to see. Hopefully, she brings them back, and when we can, she can show them off on the show, which will be not like wearing them. I don't want to. That's weird. That's my internet daughter there. But so that's what Blabs is up to. That'd be great. That would be great for sure. Joining us now as we Arch, I'm sure you didn't see this, but did you see what Blabs got out of the vending machine in Japan?
I did not.
She got panties.
Yes, I've heard of the panties vending machine. I've also heard about the used panties vending machine, which sells for a higher price.
Yep. They are so culturally rich out there, man. I'm so jealous.
Sav, if you are, let's just say you made your way to Japan, right? And you had your choice, Sav. And this is obviously for everybody, but we'll start with Sav. You have a vending machine of the clean underwear on your left and the dirty underwear on your right. Now, the dirty underwear cost 150 yen, whereas the clean underwear cost 100 yen. Which underwear dispenser are you first going to?
Neither.
Okay.
And the reason for that is 3D Pig, 2D Pure. I'm not into 3D shenanigans like that. That's disgusting. But if there's a market for it, I support the ability to sell it.
Okay. Steph, any thoughts on the panty machines?
Yes, I have a question. Now,
yes.
if there was an option to donate, if there was a third machine, Savvy, where you could donate yours, would you do that?
Oh, now it's just scandalous.
Donation.
Donation or sell. That's the big thing.
If it's a donation, no. If it's selling, depends on how much money I'm making.
Okay, Savvy, let's play the Price is Right game.
Although I would have to consult with my husband.
Okay,
because
that's
I
important.
include him on things like that. He is the one who bullied me into selling my feet. So I would need to see how he feels. Yes.
Your husband bullied you into selling your feet?
Yeah, he came to me one day and he goes, "This woman just sells her feet. Why don't you do this? Look how much money she makes." And then he kept it up for a week. I thought it was just a joke at first. And he's like, "I will pay for you to go get a pedicure and I'll help you set it up and just see what happens."
Oh, Savvy's husband hoard her out. Let's go. Hoard out her feet. Let's go. Arch, you have the panty machines in front of you. Which one are you going to first? Or the third option of selling your underwear, Arch.
I don't know if anyone would be interested.
Somebody would always be interested, Arch. I
There's
promise you
always
that.
a market.
There's always a person.
But obviously, I'd buy the used underwear because then I could resell it.
Arch is up here. He's the businessman.
Thinking ahead. Yeah.
Businessman right here. That's right. Oh my God. Sav, legit question. Your husband okays it, right? And they're like, some Japanese guy walks up and he's like, "I want to buy your underwear."
He comes up to me, just straight up says, "I want to buy your underwear."
Sure. What are you selling it for?
$669.
$669?
Yeah, I'm a memer for numbers.
Okay.
You know, I'll put a high cost on some threads.
Arch, what about you? Some Asian guy walks up to you in Akihabara, Japan, and is like, "Hey, I want to buy your underwear right now. How much are you selling your underwear
No,
for?"
it would be a woman. It wouldn't be a guy. Women will actually buy men's underwear like that.
Yeah,
women will actually partake.
But let's make it weird. Let's say a guy walks up to you, Arch.
Well, that would definitely double the price, at least. My chat bullies me to do all kinds of weird things for $1,000, so this would definitely be $2,000 at the very least.
Okay, nice. Steph, would you like to chime in on this conversation?
No, I wouldn't sell or buy. Sorry.
No, you wouldn't sell or buy. You would not partake in the underwear
Would not
conversation.
partake. Nope.
Good for you. Good for you. You know who probably would partake in this conversation? The Hawk Tuah girl, which leads us to our next story.
Oh dear.
Did you see the Hawk Tuah girl's latest announcement with her collaboration along the way with Lunchly? If we recall Lunchly, which is the alternative launched by Mr. Beast, one of the Paul brothers, and the KSI guy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who her manager is?
Yes, I do. It is Endymion pointed this out that her podcast is owned by Jake Paul, who's brothers with the guy who owns Lunchly and knows KSI. So yes, it's one big circle jerk. And as pointed out by our wonderful Steph, who is right here next to me, I'll let you read that in your voice.
The Lunchly team. Let's start marketing Lunchly to kids. Send them to the chick that spits on pee-pee.
That's right. Here, let's actually look at the video here. See how she says this and what is actually said here.
I like my cheese drippy, bro. I like my cheese drippy, bro. So good. Let's start the podcast.
So there we go.
KSI's new songs playing in the background.
Well, of course it is.
Yeah, before anybody thinks that her rise to fame was organic and people were actually interested in her beyond the meme, it's all what do they call that? AstroTurfed or whatever?
The fake grass?
Yeah.
Fake?
Yeah, like what do you call that when a movement is fake and like propped up by money and sponsorship and fake stuff like that? That's AstroTurfing, right?
I'll say this. I think the video was authentic. I think the media machine behind her was fake.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, right? I think that she didn't think that she was going to be successful.
Oh yeah, I think that her initial video was absolutely genuine. It's just her rise beyond that.
Yeah, beyond that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
It was very manufactured.
Yeah.
She certainly grabbed onto her 15 minutes of fame with both hands. I'm sorry that I have to do this, but my mind works in weird ways. So, if her fame is spitting on pee-pee, would it increase the value if she like ate a Lunchly and then like had the bits in her mouth and then like
There's a market for
He
that.
likes the cheese drippy.
Yeah. Yeah, like little pieces of Lunchables just kind of falling out there.
What is that? That's my new favorite thing that you have. Just
Oh my god! Wow! Just yep.
Have you seen the Hawk Tua Halloween costume?
what?
No.
How?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, she has a whole section of at Spirit Halloween.
Huh?
Yes, you haven't seen it?
No,
Okay.
no.
I'm gonna tell you this right
There you
now. Like what this girl initially was like, oh, good for her. You know, how charming. And she has gotten like, I was rooting for her success. And now she's long past that for me. I if I saw her, I'd probably want to punch her in the ovaries in Minecraft. You know?
That means something completely different. I don't think you know what that means.
Punch her in the ovary?
Yeah.
I okay, what does that mean? Oh, you mean like is that what you mean? No, I meant like physically in Minecraft. Yes,
Never mind. Never mind.
So let's check out this thing. What do we got here? What do you got?
That's her Halloween costume.
Why? Wait, what does that have to do with anything? That looks more Paris Hilton related.
Yeah. It's a pink jumpsuit with a white hat, and it says Hawk Tua Express lubrication experts. Spit on that thing.
Wow.
But this is actually terrible. I think this is literally something Paris Hilton did when she was doing The Simple Life.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even understand what's happening. What are we doing with society today?
We live in a society, Craig.
we do live in a society here. I'll tell you, it's nuts. I would just
I don't know. I just think it's a bad idea. I think a lot of people are like, well, she's still really a nice girl. She's not doing OnlyFans. She's not. I think she's donating some of her money. Like, you know, it's wholesome. It's like, yes, spitting on pee-pee, so wholesome. But
she may not be
the initial monthly announcement was that it's better for children. It's good for kids. This is a way that we're trying to make kids healthier. Even though, you know, Lunchables was never really healthy to begin with. I think that Lunchables is kind of like a snack food. So is Lunchly. But like their whole thing is marketing to children, marketing healthy things to children. So why are you giving it to the Hawk Tua girl?
Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't want your kids watching her. There's nothing wrong with her content, whatever, but like you just wouldn't want somebody under the age of 14 watching her content.
Mm-hmm.
In America. I understand other places might be different.
I mean, this has been pointed out by a million people, but I do think it's, you know, once again, main consumer, children, marketing, girl who got famous for blowjob technique.
Yeah.
Same thing y'all are talking about here, but this is, at the end of the day, she's famous for spitting on dicks. And you could say, oh, it's wholesome. Look, she may not be whoring herself out on OnlyFans, but she's whoring herself out. I mean,
Yeah, we've widened the definition of wholesome at that point quite a bit.
right.
Yes.
That's a hot dog down a hallway wholesome situation. Jesus.
God. Anyways.
I don't know. It's just like, oh, but she's doing good things with her money. Okay, she still got famous for spitting on pee-pee.
Right.
For being proud of it. I don't know. And now people are like, oh, she was just joking. It was just a joke. Was it though?
The fact that, okay, whatever.
Is it true that she's suing the dude who filmed it initially? Or was that just sensationalism?
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but I saw someone mention that she's suing that guy that filmed it initially. Yeah.
Supposedly. Don't know if that's true or not. Don't want to spread the wrong thing. I'm not trying to tarnish her thing, but it's just weird.
If it's tarnished, she'll just spit on it, loop, and shine it right back up. It's okay. It's all
That's
right.
true.
You see what I did there? That's good.
True.
Hey, Aiden came in with the $20 super chat. Says, hey guys, I'm 37 today. Let's go. I'll be going to Vegas this Sunday night. Monday, Battlefield Las Vegas. Tuesday night, Chicken Ranch. I'll be wearing all formal, all black for the special occasion. The rest is whatever. See you guys. Hey, Aiden, have a great time and happy birthday, my man. I believe
happy birthday.
Dan Vask is indeed waiting in the wings, and he actually has a special birthday message for you.
Happy, much happy birthday for you.
Oh,
It's
That was so
wonderful.
cute. See, that's wholesome, I think.
yeah, wholesome.
That's right.
That's wholesome.
Speaking of wholesome, can we
Never
give it
do.
up for Elon Musk? I think he paid the $5 million fine so Brazilians can get back on X. So Dan Vasc is back, baby. He's back to cultural relevancy. And I have received a DM from Dan Vasc. I can confirm he is indeed on X now, which is wonderful. So go follow Dan Vasc over on X, our favorite Brazilian. Norm came in and says, when time machines are invented, expect a mass exodus of normal men to more common sense times. I, for one, am willing to brave the black death if it means never having to hear about Hawk Tua ever again. Thanks, Norm. Appreciate that. Also, Joey says, I would love to go to Japan and visit Super Nintendo World and Universal Studios and the Hidden Leaf Village theme park after selling used underwear. All right, Joey.
Yeah, real talk, away from the underwear thing, I think that's a funny, wonderful thing that they do, whatever. But like, I would spend so much money at the Pokemon stores and Doujin shops. Like, there's so much indie that we don't get, that never gets, translated or whatever. I would spend so much money being able to buy all that and bring it all here.
Different cultures, man.
There's something else I would spend money on.
Oh, here it comes. Breaking news. Arch. Let's see what he comes back with. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Arch from Archcast. You guys make sure you go subscribe to his channel. We are all waited in bated breath as we are watching live from Norway. Something is about to happen. Everyone keep your eyes.
See the natural Norwegian habitat.
With Pokemon.
Ooh, yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Look at
That's
that.
what you need to spend money on.
Yes, actual good quality.
Wow, look at that. Look at that.
Wow.
Have you ever sliced any fruit with that, Arch?
I have. I've test cut it.
Like a fruit ninja.
Part of me was really hoping that you'd bring back a Trumpy trout.
Trumpy trout. You think they have those in Japan?
Absolutely.
1000%. All right, let's go to let's go and move on. Hey, Flickerbox came in and says it's hilarious how people are just now noticing the neon sign with the pregnant stripper in Silent Hill 2. Been there since day one, but somehow it's like finding a hidden Easter egg all over again. Yeah, I saw this and I did not know this was a thing, but I don't know if you guys. Thank you so much, Flickerbox, for that. That's very generous of you. And did you guys see the what are we doing here? Let's get rid of that. Where hold on, where did you go? How can I not take you off? There we go. Okay. But did you guys see the pregnant stripper in the background of Silent Hill 2?
I can't believe people didn't know that was a thing, though. Yes, they changed the shape and made it more apparent, but it was there in the original.
That's
so
so
yeah,
funny.
it's very funny.
It's hilarious, man. Love it. Paradise along the way. Thank you for that. That's outstanding. Raging Wolf came in and says, I made a video talking about how Ubisoft thinks gamers want to fail. Thinks gamers want games to fail. I said gamers don't want games to fail. We want fun games. If anyone in chat is interested, go check it out. Much love. Pizza, beers, us. There you go. Raging Wolf. Thank you very much. Good luck with that video, man.
Yep. You don't want games to fail, but you get the industry you deserve. If you accept shit, you will get shit.
Accurate. Speaking of shit, we'll move on to this Halo story here briefly in just a second. Deadpool Kid came in at the 10, says, we live in a society where whoredom is the norm, simping is the currency, and family values are the weird. Where's the asteroid or Godzilla apocalypse? Well, it may be coming to Florida here in a few hours.
He's not wrong, though, when we have to sit there like, oh, all she did was spit on a penis. Well, that's pretty wholesome by comparison. Oh,
Right.
well.
Weird times.
All she did was spit on a penis, and then she got famous. Congratulations. Or she just said she spit on it. That's the worst thing. We don't even
Yeah,
have
she didn't
pictures
even do it. We
Picture
don't
didn't
know.
happen. What have we been talking about? It's ridiculous. All right, let's talk about this Halo story. We've kind of briefly touched on this, the idea of 343 turning into Halo Studios. But Cabrutus had this, and we've talked, there's been a lot of back and forth about Master Chief's old look versus his new look. along the way and the character development of Master Chief over the years. We saw the Halo series where Master Chief took off his helmet and he had all these emotions for the first time. Whereas if you were to go back to the original Master Chief and the original Halo games, he was a dude in a green outfit. Arch, did you play much Halo PC Master Race?
I've only played the first one, I think, because that was, of course, quite the cultural moment, and also it was a graphical revolution at the time. Even though his, the shadow was painted on his helmet, that was quite something back then.
Yeah, Sav, do you have a history with Halo at all?
I actually do. I had a really big one. One of my friends was on the forums all the time, but we were part of the original map breaking crew. So when you heard about the out of bounds stuff, we were actually some of the first to do it.
Nice. So you were you a tester?
No. This was after the game came out.
Okay.
So we were the people who kind of helped like discover goofy things in the game that you could do.
Like the rocket bounce? Remember the rocket bounce?
So we kind of did some of that, and then we did the rocket bouncing, and then the out of bounds stuff. So back when that was really fun to do, before YouTube videos actually blew up with that, people conglomerated on forums just to find ways to break games, and that was just something that we did all the time. And Halo was such a fun one to do with that.
It's good stuff. Well, Kabrutus put together this little video here, and I thought it was pretty interesting. He just says, this is why 343 failed Halo. And it's only 20 seconds long, but I think that it says a lot in a short amount of time. And it's not even him saying it.
One of the keys to the success of the story is we didn't pump a lot of time into figuring out who the Master Chief was and why he was a ghost in the shell. We thought he is a husk. He's a big green suit of armor that you move around.
Master Chief is human. He's not a machine. He's not a set of armor with a big weapon. He's a human with resilience.
And I think that really says pretty much everything you need to say about the direction of Master Chief. Yes, Arch.
Yes. Like, see, not everything requires a big weepy story. It's fine to have the superhuman soldier killing aliens. It's okay. Doom Guy isn't popular because he's a sensitive guy or anything. He's popular because he kills fucking demons.
Savvy?
God, he's so hot. I love Doom Guy. He is the epitome of perfection when it comes to semi-silent protagonist, because he is spicy. He knows there's a job to do. My God, bring that back. Bring that back.
I think...
What are we talking about?
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, Savvy. Yeah. Got a little excited. The thing is, though, while we look back on Halo very fondly, it is important that there has always been haters of Halo along the way. Case in point, Chad Warden. I don't know if you guys remember Chad Warden from back in the day, but he had this wonderful analysis of Halo.
Halo. Niggas trying to talk about Halo 3. You know what I'm saying? Man, they best rename that shit to Galo 3.
That's
do you guys remember Chad Warden back in the day?
I don't remember the guy himself, but Galo, I think I've heard.
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember the video, not the individual in the name.
Chad Warden I think it was a character. I think he was a character back in the day, but that was his thing. He was a PlayStation 3 fanboy, so he would make videos like that. It was perfect for 2006 internet back in the day. Steph, you ever play Halo?
Times.
I've never played Halo. I know what Halo is and I know the game, but I've never actually played it. And that video where they're saying like, "Oh, he's just human. He's just a human." As someone who's never played Halo, it still doesn't sit right with me. Like if I'm playing a video game and I'm playing as, that Master Chief character, I am envisioning it to be like, this is a superhuman soldier. Like, this is awesome. Making him human, like I don't want to say like it belittles him, but it makes him weaker, like I don't want to, if I wanted to play a game like that, I would choose a game like that, but it just makes him seem a lot weaker than he's supposed to be in the game. Because I don't really know. I've never really played the game, but it just, I don't know. It makes him feel weak. Like he's got a lot of weaknesses to him.
A lot of
like,
fifis.
He's fragile. He's very fragile. Makes him fragile. I don't like it.
Well,
see, there's something interesting you could do there, because of course added complexity is often good, right? And sometimes doing a completely different take on a character, it would be interesting. The Joker too, which is potentially a topic we'll get to today. Who knows? But the Joker was actually an excellent opportunity to make a very human Batman. Like, imagine the scene, right? Arthur Fleck is a man who's gone mad because society has dumped on him. Bruce Wayne becomes Batman like 10, 13, 15 years later, and he doesn't see this. He becomes everything the left thinks the Batman is. He thinks, my parents were taken away, it was just crime, I'm going to be the vengeance in the dark, I'm going to scare the shit out of these bastards, and I'm just going to beat up poor people as a rich dude in a bat suit. Okay. Then he encounters Arthur Fleck, who's like, no, I'm not mad, I'm not psychotic, I was actually ruined by society. And he actually outperforms Batman. He beats him, he tricks him, and Batman then has to look into his past and realize, holy shit, there is actually something to what my parents did. Their altruism and building up society was actually a good point. If I had done that, I could have avoided Arthur Fleck. I could have avoided the Joker. You could then transform the Batman from the rich dude who beats up the poor criminal into somebody who isn't trying to beat the Joker. He's trying to save the Joker. That would be a tremendous amount of added complexity and interest to the character. But the reason why we would want this is because Batman is like 70 years old. He needs it at this point because he's already done everything else. He's been a dinosaur, he's been a caveman, he's been steampunk, he's been vampires. But Master Chief doesn't really need this. Like, it's fine to have the superhuman soldier that just kills shit. That is an entirely fine archetype, particularly for a first-person shooter video game.
If they wanted to humanize him too, they could just play into the fact that he gave the ultimate sacrifice. He sacrificed his humanity to be able to handle going up against aliens and saving the entire universe, galaxy, and blah, 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 blah. There you go. He's humanized in that way. And he still maintains his lack of humanity, which, whatever.
I think the other thing that people forget about Master Chief was that he was supposed to be a representation of the player. That was the idea behind Master Chief. So, yeah, man, like the idea of giving him personality along the way is like, okay, that's fine. But the personality is supposed to be the person. You're supposed to be able to see yourself through them. It's you bust an alien face while you're going through. And that's the thing that I think a lot of, we got to add feelings to them. We got to make the narrative better. No, you don't.
That right there.
Didn't the Halo show do that?
Wait, what?
Didn't the Halo show do that?
Yeah. But this is why I
that
hated
went.
when they added the character customization in Pokemon, actually, because I knew it would start attracting the wrong people. Instead of realizing that you're playing through a protagonist who you're supposed to just imagine yourself as, they now let you do a literal representation. And instead of creating a character for the world, they let people come in and just make themselves. And now there's all these demands of representation. I have to be able to actually make myself or else. And now we have the shitty character customization that we do today.
Well, it's amazing how a quick 20-second video can spawn so much discussion. But I think Kabrutus really nailed it right there. It's awesome stuff. Good stuff, Kabrutus. Thanks for that, buddy. Everyone go subscribe to Kabrutus's channel. Beard came in with a $20 super chat. Says, was only 13 when Halo 3 came out. Cried when M. Keeson, Master Chief Keeson and Sergeant Johnson died. Basically never cried, but these characters meant so much to me. Even with Chief being a shell, him and Cortana helped me understand relationships. F343. There you go, Beard. I said some things don't need to be laid out perfectly for everybody. You give an opportunity to use your imagination and figure out, and in Beard's case, emotionally make it through at the ripe old age of 13 of figuring out relationships. That's awesome. Montana Moser came in and says, been watching Razor First Fist since 2016. It's awesome. He led me to this. Came for the Razor, stayed for the great show. Keep it up, guys. Keep it up. You guys rock. Montana, thank you very much. Genuinely appreciate your support. That goes very, very far in allowing us to do this show on a day-to-day basis. That is spectacular. And Koa came in and says, If I want to play as a human in Halo, I'll replay the masterpiece that is ODST. Master Chief is like the Space Marine. They are supposed to be the peak of humanity. I hate these. I want to see myself. Yeah. Thanks, Koa. Genuinely appreciate that. ODST was a great game for sure. Super fun. Super Joe's Midlife Crisis came into the 10. Says, as one who dies in the sun, is Savvy offended by Castlevania and their pro-vampire hunting propaganda, or weak vampire propaganda like what we do in the shadows? Which one are you more offended by, Sav?
I'm not offended by anything, but I do just want to say I think actually the concept of vampires ever being made, there is, I don't think, do we know the first ever vampire story, like what actually inspired it?
No. Do you know?
So the fact that there was most likely, because what I have is not unique. The fact that most likely back in the day, somebody was like me in terms of, reacting to UV radiation. They can't go out into the sun without turning red and experiencing hives. And then also happening to have a rare food allergy with the garlic and onion thing. Like, I think that that's cool. And the creativity that's possibly spawned from that, regardless of how things are presented, I think that that's fascinating. I love every type of vampire story. I love it when vampires are slain. I love the monster vampires. I love the pretty vampires. I love all of that. I think it's really cool.
Fun fact from history.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that one of the first vampires was a lesbian?
Fuck yeah.
There's a presentation for you. Carmilla from like 1870.
That's very cool.
Now we know.
I don't have a movie about her.
Yeah, I got to go down the rabbit hole of that one.
We need to. Yep.
Yeah. Well, look, this is the wonderful thing that you get on a day-to-day basis when you tune into Side Scrollers. Fun facts about lesbian vampires. All right, let's move on to our final story of the day. We had a really good discussion today, but I do think it's important to get to our lead story, which was what Nintendo announced this morning. Did everybody see the new Nintendo announcement, the new product that has come out?
Did they have a show?
They did not. They just dropped a trailer out of the blue.
Yeah.
I would love to hear your thoughts on this, Sav.
Is it Pokemon related?
Oh no.
No.
Introducing the Nintendo Sound Clock Alarmo. Let's take a look and see what is announced here.
This is Nintendo Sound Clock Alarmo, an interactive alarm
Animal
clock
Crossing
that's
music?
out of the ordinary. Let's see what it's like to wake up with Alarmo. Oh, do you hear that? The alarm is going off. But Alarmo doesn't just play music to start your day. That's right. It responds to your body's movement with game sounds. Like here, with the sound of coins from Super Mario Odyssey.
So there's 55 seconds, and there's more here, but you get the idea.
Which games are already on there? I think it included 5.
Yes, there's
five?
5.
Okay, I was going to ask if you can program it.
You can. There are 5 different games associated with it, and you can see them right here.
Super Mario Odyssey. Pikmin 4.
They picked all of the dumbest sounds. And then it's going to do the beep, beep, beep.
Splatoon 3.
Okay, hold on there. As a man, do you really ever want to wake up to the sound of...
I was going to say, there's going to be some weird flashbacks that happen there.
I'm going to tell you this right now.
Is that ever going to be a good thing?
I think this is I posted this on X. I think this is the worst product that Nintendo has released since Wii Music.
What's the last game? I don't even know what Ring Fit Adventure
I think it was
is.
Zelda.
Is it Zelda?
Ring Fit Adventure.
It would have to be Zelda or Pokemon.
I knew
Zelda,
these
yeah.
guys would show up. And
Yeah.
The Legend of Zelda:
Hang on.
Breath of the Wild.
Wake up, Link.
Okay,
Each game
so
features
everybody
seven alarm-
who buys it will buy it for the Zelda one because they want to wake up to Zelda, but then they'll probably reprogram it. Instead of saying wake up Link, it'll just be wake up because they want to wake up to Zelda's voice.
Right. So the way this works is when you get up, and I'll save everybody the video, but it has sensors in here. I'll show this off really quick. It has sensors in it, which gives you the sound effects. So here we go.
Mo detects movement with its motion sensor. And responds to your actions with sounds.
If you
so
want me-
many horrifying scenarios that I'm imagining from this.
If you want to hate Nintendo,
Yes.
this is the direct path to hating all your favorite games.
Yes. 100%. I
Like-
hate my alarm when I wake up in the morning.
Yes.
Everybody hates their alarm when you wake up in the morning. It doesn't matter like if you put on soothing music to wake you up. It doesn't matter. You hate it. You don't want to get out of bed. This is probably the worst thing that they could have designed because yeah, you're going to end up hating those songs. You're not going to want to play Zelda anymore because it's just going to remind you of like you're waking up in the morning and how much you don't like it. You're not going to want to play Splatoon because it's just going to remind you of your alarm clock. Like, it's not good. I have this. So I have this on my phone as an alarm for some days. If I need to wake up, this will wake me up.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have that and it just plays it over and over and over, just over and over and over. And I'll wake up and I will turn it off immediately and be like, oh God. But I put it on because I know it'll wake me up. It's like sound that'll wake me up in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're going to end up hating it.
I remember vividly having I had an alarm clock when I was a kid that was like it was a little chicken and it would sing this song. And I remember it being like, 10, 11, 12, whatever, having this alarm clock. But that alarm clock like haunts me to this day. The idea, like I remember hearing this. And so why would you want to wake up to a certain song, one of your favorite songs every day? Because you'll eventually have a negative, because waking up.
That's not what I meant to do. I was trying to show you what my sound is. It played the other one. For some reason, I can't get it. So I have the Heidi Ho from Mr. Hanky from South Park where it goes, Heidi Ho!
Right.
And that's why I'm so angry in the morning. I don't know why it's not showing up. It's like defaulting.
Yeah, you know what? It's so funny. I was able to pull this up immediately. This is so freaking funny. I had this alarm clock as a kid. Let me play this really fast. And you tell me if you woke up to this every morning, how you would feel listening to this. Let me see. Here we go. This is and once again, why would you like getting woken up is one of the worst things ever. You're like in a nice calm sleep and then you get whatever.
Yeah.
There's an immediate negative connotation to start your day because you're interrupting something that you're enjoying. So this is like a really dumbass idea. Here's this alarm clock I had.
Wow.
Oh God.
Hey, baby, wake up. Come and dance with me. Wow.
That's kind of scary.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
No wonder it haunts you.
Yes. And like just hearing that now, I was kind of like, okay.
So I went through this, like, I don't want to say a phase, but an experiment. I was like, okay, let me play. And I have two themes on my song. I have Hedwig's thing from Harry Potter and the Once Upon a Time theme from the Once Upon a Time TV show. Because those are right. Those are soothing.
nice
And then I have I was like, okay, let me turn it off. I'll do this experiment. I want to be woken up by some of my favorite theme songs. I'll try that. It lasted 2 days. Because I was just like, nope, because I'm starting to hate it already. It lasted 2 days.
Oh man, Ko is right. Alarm is for work, not fun. Like I'm right. I totally agree with that for sure. Brandon says, is it bad that I low key want it? Yes. If-
I'm just gonna come out and say it. You're gonna be mad at me. I am part of the problem.
You are.
I would buy it. I would buy it for nostalgia's sake because so I understand what they're doing. The light on top of it. I also know about all of that stuff. And some people sleep with the blackout curtains, and that's actually the worst thing that you could do for yourself. I use blackout curtains. It's the worst thing you can do. I'm not a hypocrite. I'm aware of the problem.
I sleep with blackout curtains.
I like dumb gadgets, and I am a Nintendo fanboy as much as I criticize them. And I would buy this for the Zelda part of it, and if I could program it with Pokemon too. But yeah, can you put Doom on it too? play Doom on the clock.
It said like more coming soon. I wouldn't buy it because it doesn't have Animal Crossing on it. It has to have Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
More
the
times-
advertisement uses Animal Crossing. But then
I
they
think
didn't
that
put it
like
on there.
if you buy it, it's purely for the visual purpose of
Yeah.
having that alarm clock there. I don't think that like
I would never
anybody who
use
buy
it.
it would actually use it as an alarm clock. I would still use my phone, but like just have it there so I can be like, oh look, I have the latest Nintendo thing. I wouldn't use it as an alarm clock because it would.
Now, what I really wish, instead of a digital display, but I understand it's, tech heavy because it's got the stupid sensors and whatever, but I would have loved if it was that old analog style, the thing with the flippies, right?
Yeah.
Like where it's truly nostalgic.
I'll say this, man. If you want to hate Nintendo and your favorite Nintendo games, buy this alarm clock. Do it, and tell me how long it lasts. Like less than a week, tops. Think about taking like too much of a good thing is definitely a bad thing, right? Let's say Arch likes dried fish, and let's just say you were force fed dried fish for a week. You probably wouldn't want dried fish on the 6th day or 7th day or 8th day, whatever it may be. Am I wrong, Arch?
Not necessarily, no. But there are ways around this, okay?
Okay.
Like, there are ways around this. It has sensors, right? So it notices what goes on in the bedroom. Well, what else goes on in the bedroom? Imagine the Mario sounds.
Yep. Ding, 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 ding.
I think I'd like to buy the clock now for some funnies.
Oh my god.
Second question though, why is your love of dried fish so apparent that Craig would know that? What's the story to that?
That's my heritage, Norwegian.
Yeah.
But dried, what are we talking? Like, do you dry fish regularly? Do you do that? Is that something you participate in?
As a culture, we both dry and deliberately rot fish, and then lower it into salt to eat it as a Christmas tradition.
Dude, that sounds so cool. I want to try. Is it tasty?
I'm sure that could be arranged. Oh no, it tastes like vomit.
Oh, okay.
Yum.
Salty vomit. That's about the same texture as well, the same consistency.
You're doing a really good job of selling us on this, Arch. That's good. Hey, Bob came in. He says, Splatoon simp here, buying this. It'll be a hackable eventually. Yes, for sure. So this is the fundraiser for the next system. Look at the stuff they released before announcing the next system. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate that.
I don't like the design of it either. It's too childlike. Like if you Google kids alarm clocks, the design of it looks just like this one.
Yeah, I mean, I see that. But once again, I would say who's Nintendo's target audience.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I just don't like the design. I'm too old.
It is very simplistic, very Mario simplistic.
Yeah.
Lionel Polo says, if you want to be evil, you can make it spam, hey, listen, to wake someone up. Yeah. Hey, listen.
It should have an adult version.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Chat, anybody else interested in picking this bad boy up?
Yeah, wait, how much is it? We never saw a price.
Good question.
It's $100.
No, it's not.
What?
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes.
There's no way.
Can you confirm that?
Yeah, I got it. I don't doubt your ability to remember things that you have seen, but there's just no way.
Here it is. The Alarmo right here. Check this bad boy out right there. $99.99.
Yep.
This is what
$100.
digital gets us. Things are supposed to be cheaper, but instead they're more expensive. Every aspect of this thing is plastic. It is so cheap. They're making this for fractions of a penny. The only thing that's worth a dang is the fact that they slapped a Nintendo sticker on the bottom with the made in China thing.
Yep.
True.
Wait, hold on. Go back
Well,
to
see,
that
look,
previous
that's
image.
why I say like it looks like a child's alarm clock. Because if I look at this one here, I'm going to share my screen. This one's only
Nintendo
$40.
Switch Online required, which you have to pay for.
This one's only $40. You can paint it.
That's so cute. What the fuck is that?
Oh, that is the exact same thing, yes.
Wow.
Except they made the button on top bigger.
And it's LEDs. So it goes faster.
Like, that's insane. That's hilarious. It's like they just reskinned it.
Also,
Wow.
so this thing connects to the internet because they mentioned free updates, and I see what looks like an email icon there. So isn't this just Nintendo installing a little bunch of sensors into your bedroom that monitors you?
You know, that definitely crossed my mind. Look, as much as I like to play games with Nintendo, I don't want them in my bedroom looking at what I'm doing. You know, that's just me. But you see this man, is that the value? Is their value $60? Because you saw that with the other one was what, $39, $49, whatever it was. Like, well, that's crazy to me.
And so if you look at the actual pictures too, it actually looks cheaper than what I thought it did, because the video made the top light area look like some sort of matte, like nicer textured plastic. But seeing the actual pictures of it, it looks like the really cheapy, like
it's just a
crappy
cheap
plastic.
white light.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
also looks like an egg
plastic white
now.
light.
The thing that hasn't been discussed is this: Nintendo Switch Online required to buy it.
Which costs money. Even if it is the cheapest one, it doesn't matter.
So you have to have a Nintendo Switch Online account, which, you know, there's a lot of people who do, millions of people do, but you have to have that before you're allowed to buy the Alarmo alarm clock. That's dumb as shit.
So it wouldn't even function as a clock without connecting to something.
That would also mean that when you order it, you have to register for the Switch Online thing, which I'm presuming requires, let's just say, like money. So you need to put down a credit card with address and legal name, and now they know who owns the alarm clock that's going to be in your bedroom.
Wow.
Yeah, so how
like
can
a
they have
terrible
it
idea.
marketed for children if the children technically don't have credit cards? Like I don't understand how all of that works.
Well, you sign in to buy it, but you can also buy it at the Nintendo store in New York City as well. So if you don't have a Nintendo Switch Online account, you can still buy the physical product in New York. So, man, I don't know.
But it says you still need it to connect. So does the thing just not work if it doesn't connect? Like if you don't use internet, because it says internet required.
Right. I don't know. These are all wonderful questions that I cannot answer. Here we go. Let's look at the side of the box here, just to see if there's any more information on this. Let's zoom in. Stop the alarm. Just by getting up. Okay, so you don't even have to hit the top button over there. It senses you getting up. Move your body to quiet the alarm. Get out of bed to stop the alarm along the way. Death or serious injury can occur if ingested. So don't go eating your Alarmo. I'm just going to tell you this right now. The fact that we have to have a warning on the front of a box telling you not to eat the alarm clock. I mean, what are we doing? Hold on. Keep new and used batteries out of reach of children. Seek immediate medical attention if the battery. Okay, this is all battery. Is swallowed. Okay, there you go.
But it's USB plugged in. What battery?
Saf? I don't know.
It's another option.
Maybe we need to buy an Alarmo. Fuck no, I'm not buying an Alarmo.
Well, so I would have bought it if it was $40, $50, or even $60. I'll give them that. I'm not paying $100 for that.
$100, yeah. That's an
$100
outrageous price.
to hate Nintendo. That's the thing about it. You're just gonna hate it very soon.
Like that is true. My old alarm clock gave me superpowers. Unironically,
yeah,
I can wake up without an alarm clock now. I go to bed and I say I'm going to wake up at this time. I will, because my old alarm clock fucking traumatized my ass. Because he was the kind who went from 0 to in a millisecond.
Oh, it was one of those.
Yes,
Do you
every
use
morning I
blackout
just wake up
curtains?
with a start screaming.
Do you use the blackout curtains at all?
No, I don't.
Then that's also why. You are very healthy then. If you use blackout curtains, you are a lazy individual, and it will show.
So waking up with a heart attack was actually pretty good for me in the long term.
Well,
wait, what about blackout curtains?
So the blackout curtains will ruin your ability to rise with the sun. Statistically speaking, most humans function best and will wake up in a better mood with more energy if they rise with the sun. That natural sunlight is super important for you for your circadian rhythm. If you black that out, that's what causes the grogginess, the lack of productivity, and the harder waking up in the morning.
Really? Because I was told that sleeping with blackout curtains was good for you because you wake up like with your room dark and then you open them up to the sunlight and that will help you.
No, that is like system shock, and that's really bad. The slow gradual rise takes you back to your primitive ways because our brains are still very primitive. It's only in the last couple hundred years that we've had all this technology and all this dumb shit. Every single human being rose with the sun. There's only a small people who are genetically that were basically genetically bred through natural selection to be night people. So the people who function better at night, very, very small percentage for genuine individuals who do that, but they were traditionally the night watch. They were the ones keeping people safe in the tribe at night.
That's interesting.
Fascinating conversation.
Yeah, because I was told like the complete opposite. Like that's why I sleep with blackout curtains, because you need to wake up in the dark and then like shock your system with the sun, like open them up and it'll be like,
that's one of the worst things you can do.
Oh my God. Taking him down immediately.
Ridiculous. Oh my, you've been lied to. It's not like the
I'm going to text her right now and be like, you were so wrong. I was doing it right the whole time.
Savvy told me you're wrong.
Follow the money for the studies. You'll see a big difference on who was pushing for certain study verbiage.
It's always the blackout people who are big blackout curtain. That's who it is. it's big curtain, like we have big pharma over here. Unbelievable. What's this about, Arch? You got a Japanese waiter who used to insult you?
Oh, yes. I went to Japan years and years ago, and I do actually understand Japanese. So one of them was like taking my order, and I was giving it in English. So I wasn't that confident about pronunciation. And she called me a goddamn foreigner, basically.
Nice. Well, you are, aren't you?
I am.
That's right. Well, thank you for your bravery in the fight against racism. It's ridiculous. Taker says, does Alarmo make you woke? No. It makes you hate Nintendo if you want that. So yeah, for sure. Thanks, Benjamin. Appreciate that. Okay, man, you guys have been outstanding today. ActMan went after Az and revealed Mahler's name.
Yes, he did.
I didn't realize he exposed his name.
I don't know enough about this dude. I just see his name pop up. So who is the ActMan guy? Like, he's been around for a while?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
It's the ActMan who
for a while. He's hold on, I'm getting.
Yeah, please tell me more. As we're gonna have some of the super chats roll on the bottom of the screen. So professional stream liability. Yes, we know that about Savvy for sure. Thank you guys very much.
He's a YouTuber. He has 1.94 million subscribers. He's a very big YouTuber. But yeah, he I don't know. Kind of fence sitter, kind of not. He goes after a lot of people on YouTube. He has very strong opinions. I think Jeremy has gone back and forth with him a couple of times as well. And yeah, he revealed a lot of stuff about Mahler through text messages. So
it's kind of fucked up.
That was a thing. Yep.
Visa says, no chat about the new guidelines, Twitch savvy. Do you want to talk about that? The Twitch, the hips thing you were talking about?
Oh yeah, so basically they offered clarification and said that P&G tubers, or the VTuber crew, need to adhere to the same rules that they have on wardrobe as they do for flesh tubers or real people, despite not enforcing those rules. And basically the biggest takeaway is the ambiguity of what they will then call lolly or shota or chibi. So the reason why that language is important, because it's the same ambiguity that they use to censor people on Patreon, on Pixiv, and everywhere else. So they're trying to say that if you have a chibi or young-looking avatar, you will get banned, basically. That's not okay, because if I were to make a VTuber based off of me, that would get banned because I don't have large boomba. So that, and then the art style, listing chibi in there, is so wrong. Totally fine with the idea of banning anybody who's not of a certain age. That's fine. That's the real person. But artwork and these words that they're trying to associate with certain things is wrong to label it as evil, because inherently that's not the case. That's literally not the case. And they're using this as a way to go after certain VTubers because there's a small sect of Twitch staff, for whatever reason, who hate them. Any rule change comes from the fact that they cannot and they won't just have a set of rules and stick to them, because if they say the wrong thing, then they'll be labeled as anti-feminist or anti-empowerment, because look at what the women are constantly doing. They're constantly pushing rules and causing these changes, right? So they can't say certain things. So they're like, well, we'll go after the art then. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Does that offend you that you can't have a VTuber about you?
Yes, and my dog is currently snorting. One sec.
Let's go, snorting dogs. That'd be a great band name as well. Love that. Iron Age Media came in with a 10, says, Hail, Craig, you mentioned creating a consulting company to counter the insanity of Sweet Baby Inc. and such. I sent you an email to the Side Scrollers Gmail on possibly moving that forward. Regardless, thanks for all you're doing to bring DEI to light. Well, thanks, Iron Age Media. Listen, we are just a small mouthpiece of this, and I would say Kirsha's been the biggest champion of a lot of this. She's the one who's been doing the digging, and once again, she'll be on with us next week. I'll definitely check that email and get back to you. Bizarre Star says, if it was an Animal Crossing clock, the clock would be Tom Nook telling you to wake up and go make his money. There you go. Yep. And Tech Support Gaming came in with the 10, says, if you want a good wake-up vibe, pick a theme associated with nostalgia. I use Fukai Mori because it reminds me of being woken up by Inuyasha at 3 a.m. I don't know what I just said, but thank you for that, Tech Support Gaming. Appreciate your support. Okay, man, we've had a lot going on today. It's been a really we just threw the run sheet out the window. We still had a lot of good discussion, which was great. Thank you guys for that. I would like to remind you guys to head over to therealgameawards.com and become a voting member. Today, we're going to have a new category to nominate and to put for each category. We're currently sitting at 461 members. Let's see if we can get to 500. Use promo code Alyssa to get $25. I'm sorry, to get your annual membership for $25. That's $5 off your general membership over there as a voting member. So let's get to 500. So you guys head on over there and become a voting member right now. I'd really appreciate that at therealgameawards.com. I mean, I want to put that in perspective. 461 people are all working together to create this award show. And that's really fucking cool. I think that's really, really special. So thank you guys for that. All right. We are going to get to some super chats. You guys have been phenomenal today with your support. As always, I like to give Arch and Savvy and our guests the opportunity to bounce when we get to this portion, unless you guys would like to stick around. It's totally up to you.
I think I might have to head up because I am going to get myself some food.
Nice. Some fish, huh? Fish?
Yes, some fish.
All right. Well, all right. Arch,
thanks for having me on again.
Of course. Tell everybody where they can find you, buddy.
The Archcast on YouTube. That's where you can find me most easily.
Love that. All right, everyone go find Arch over there. Savvy, you going to stick or are you going to bolt?
I'll probably go just that way I can make sure. She's never made those noises before. Sorry.
Take care of your puppy dog for sure. And Savvy, where can everybody find you?
at Madam Savvy on Twitter and YouTube.
All right, big round of applause to you guys. Thank you very much for your time, and we'll see you guys later on. Savvy, I'll see you next week. Arch, we'll see you here in a couple.
See ya.
Bye.
All right, you guys have a great day.
You too.
All right, Steph, you ready to fire these off? The normal men have been outstanding today. Thank you guys very much for your support. Discount Superhero says we need to start a GoFundMe for Jeremy's Trumpy Trout. Jeremy's unknown homo. Hey, you can send it over here. I'll get a Trumpy Trout. I'll take all support for the Trumpy Trout. Memories of Rim says Twitch is deathly terrified of anime girls. Soon it will be burqa or ban. Chris B came in and says, y'all mentioned Orange Box, but didn't give it enough respect. From the Orange Box, we got both the legendary Portal and the iconic Team Fortress 2. That's true. My fault, Chris. But you're right. Orange Box was spectacular. Live Knight came in and says, I played a Pixel Graphics 3D Rampage 3D on Miniclip site, where you're either lizard or human with jetpack and weapons, and lizard try to destroy the city. Nice. Sounds fun. Norm came in and says, women with time machines. I can't wait to meet my grandma. Normal men with time machines. No, Savvy, don't do parkour. Thanks, Norm. That's awesome. Travis came in and says, this has a whole new meaning to finger bang. All right, Travis, thank you. JWT came in and says, literally the first word I hear here is hand-ussy. I'll see you guys tomorrow. That's what you get when you have Savvy on the show. Riley says, parkour was apparently invented by some French bloke. I would have disagreed. Jackie Chan did it first. Also, hail Steph.
Hail.
Thanks, Riley. Appreciate
Jackie
that.
Chan.
Tech Support Gamer says, can't believe we were robbed by Savvy's jiggly physics. I want to roll back this patch.
No, I'm upset about that.
Orthodox Monk says, I was gonna say today has been weird, but it's really been this whole week so far. What the heck is going on? This show's going off the rails.
It started with the hand-ussy. That's where it started.
It went
right at the
quick.
beginning.
Yeah, right off the bat. Norm came back, says YouTube won't let me use my my good YouTube. Use the word goo. Okay, YouTube is evil. Confirmed. Thank you, Norm. I don't even know what you were trying to say. YouTube accomplished its goal of censoring. Young Stove says, hi, Steph. Glad you're getting screen time. Also, Savvy, you're rad and still a hot plank with better legs than Beardo. Also, I also was emo kid too. Now 37. Oof. Thanks, Young Stove. Appreciate that. Sal Mark says, the right can't make any mistake. There's little room for error, unlike the left. Be accurate in all reporting. Start using different words than woke. Thanks, Sal. Binge then came in. Says, liminal spaces and people like Ahoy, Mandalori would be the ones thriving the most if we weren't in this current culture. Okay, thank you, Binge. Then I'm sorry I butchered that. Mercenary says, Craig, you just described the concept of louche, fear and anxiety, and louche, and how these people feed off it and force us to be this way because of our nature. Thank you, Mercenary. Honey Badger came in and says, if we have people like that on, can you do it outside the normal show? I prefer video game talk from noon to 2 Monday through Friday. Yeah, I think that would be a special event if we were to do that. It wouldn't be on our regular time for sure. It would be maybe an afternoon or an evening thing where we got everybody together to do something like that. Anzik says, ActMan is a piece of shit.
Yep.
Guts of Rivera says, a worrying new trend where this narrative has become to gaslight people that woke doesn't exist. Right. Staring him in the face. Mercenary says, there are people that feed off our fear and anxiety, and they are the vampires of legends. And Larry Fink and his Nilk is one of them. Think about it. Master Gawa says, Terry XX has progress on a Silent Hill 2 remake mod that fix Angela's modern face and make her naked. Also, I'm still blind from accidentally seeing Savvy's bird push. Okay. M16 Mojo came in and says, Craig, you owe us some boobs. Make up for Savvy's MIA double Ds. I thought I did all the boobs today. I thought we hit them all. Weird. Thank you, Miner. Says, I like my alarm clock. I have Final Fantasy VIII album garden music. There you go. Vulture says, play the Satanist game with his team, Arch. Sorry, Arch just left. Javi says, ActMan is a flaming zesty rainbow boy. Okay. Flickerbox says, let's forego that there are some VTubers that will claim their character is lolly. There's still more to this argument. Jiggernaut says, clearly does not live where sun goes from not setting to not rising every 5 months. Go on, try sleeping where sun blares in your face. Thank you, Jiggernauts. Appreciate that. Mercenary came in and says, the fact that there's a warning to not eat the clock disturbs me to no end. It makes me wish for sexy space aliens to take me away from this insanity. Only sexy space aliens. That's good.
Yeah.
Savvy is correct. Internet allows us to call out a regime BS in real time, and the ruling class can only react so quickly. Norm says, Kamala fish? I think you mean Kamala carp. Followed up with says, Trumpy trout is the perfect gift for the Dune popcorn bucket enjoyer. Hopefully in passing. Thank
you. The thought came to my head, and I'm like, I'm not going to say it out loud. I'm not going to say it. Just
if you have a thought, Steph, you bring it up. It's okay. It's okay. Master Gawa says, I'm a little underrepresented. I'm actually a member of the underrepresented minority group, Filipinos. I absolutely don't want inclusion in my games. I pray that DEI pushers forget we exist.
Mm-hmm.
Robin Wheel says, chameleon. There you go. Brandman says, if everything normal is right wing, then as Arch's friend Carl likes to say, I'm as far right as it gets. Thanks, Brandman. Norm came back, says, are there rye bread vending machines in Norway? If not, what would the most Norwegian vending machines have? Definitely dried fish. We all understand that. The Worthy One says, Savvy just explained how Sexy Red and Ice Spice got famous. Thanks, Worthy One. Master Gawa says, I support whores. Madam Savvy's Lunchables win. I'd buy some Savvy's dry roast beef sandwiches. Roast. Also, you can never have enough swords. I love my blades. Thanks, Master Gawa. Inubatan came in and says, with the symbolism in Silent Hill, is it reference to the birth of Jesus, or that there is no more room at the inn, so had to go to the manger in the back? I don't know. Deadpool Kid says, thick Master Chief and dad bod Master Chief is a slap of meat for the eyes to see, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Appreciate that, Deadpool Kid.
I saw a picture on Twitter the other day of like the thick armor.
Yeah.
Is that something different? Or?
I don't know. I know that Melanie has been.
Yeah, I saw that the other day.
She had her thing where she was, and some people were like, is this parody? Like they're making fun of Melanie from it, and I, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. Melanie can have her opinions. She had this right here, and I mentioned this last night on Tuesday night's main event, but like, this was her thing: a man's body versus a woman's body, right? And I think that this Master Chief reworking, and I said this the other day, last night, and people like gave me slack about it, but look at the crotch. That when you look at the crotch here, it's like this one is very hard and rigid, and there's a lot of hard ridges, edges around each corner. Here they removed all the hard edges. It's more soft, and that may be because of the engine and whatever it may be. But if you look at the edges of this thing, it is definitely more soft along the way. I really don't have an opinion on it. I know some people will talk about it, and this is actually a really good example here of kind of the look of Master Chief over the years from Halo 1. And this obviously has to do with like the graphical change along the way in technology, the number of polygons that go into games and stuff, but he still always had these hard edges. Always had hard edges. And this new one, he does not. So
yeah.
LJ came in and says, I agree. We need the return of silent protagonists that are getting stuff done. Personal favorite of mine is Gordon Freeman. That's a good one, LJ. Good one. Vulture came in and says, I hit the like on the videos I like. Are most people too lazy to do otherwise? Vulture, good question. You guys do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button or the like button. We'd really appreciate that. That actually helps tremendously with getting the word out about the show. Flickerbox came in and says, modern writers seem obsessed with seeing themselves in entertainment as if they need constant validation. It's like representation has become the only lens they can view creativity through anymore. Thanks, Flickerbox. And you're right. Norm came in and says, it's interesting to see how silent characters like Link have 1,000 times the personality than any customizable character. Love it. Followed up one more time, says, I'm imagining waking up to the Mario theme and doing a Mario jump out of bed. Well, I think that's how they want you to think, for sure. Master Gawa says, I'm tired of libs thinking we always need character development. Not every hero needs sissy feelings. Mullet Mad Jack has none. He just shoots robots. Shoot the damn robots. Sean came in and says, I prefer the GE alarm clock from the 90s with the obnoxious alarm sound.
Oh, God.
Rebound says, I used to have this old alarm radio clock from the 80s that had a deafening buzzer as an alarm sound. It would give me a heart attack every morning. Right. Once again, if you want to hate Nintendo, get Alarmo. Jamcall came in and says, I use the victory music from Gundam Battle Assault 2, Wealth and Glory to the Winner, and love it. I hate getting woke up before it can go off. Well, you're the one who doesn't hate his alarm clock sound. Norm says, the blaring alarm clock is greater than soft and soothing alarms. Waking up sucks, and I won't pretend it isn't. There you go, Norm. David came in and says, the best song to wake up to is the end credits theme from the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. It's been the alarm on my phone for the last decade plus. Wow. That's decade plus. That's crazy. Jacob says, I don't know why I have a strange nostalgia for alarm clocks, as I had many back when I was young. The mental bells one, the digital beeps, the scratch rooster crowing. Mostly reminds me of certain family. There you go, Jacob. All right. I can see a nostalgia around it. And Super Joe's Midlife Crisis says, Alarm Pros sound effects, huge button to turn off. Alarmo cons, always online, requires subscription, watches you while you sleep. Yes, all big negatives right there.
That is really weird. It requires a subscription and like watches you, watches your movement. That is kind of weird. I don't like that.
Inubaten says, I'm just saying, with motion sensor responses, clapping cheeks, the bump or coin sound, and then a one up at the end would be pretty funny. Jesus, those are fucking hilarious. And I know you're not the first person to think that. I'm pretty sure Savvy was referencing that earlier as well.
Yep.
Man, that's great. Over on Rumble, Two's News says Kamala Cacklefish, and Frostlord says boobs are great and it's hard to stare at them for too long. No, it's not. And also, John is going to finish us up, speaking of boobs, with a wonderful $50 direct donation. John, look at that for you. Says someone asked for boobs and I'll deliver. Also, just platinum Astrobot, and it's game of the year. John Kanji, my boy. Thank you, John. Genuinely appreciate that. We should probably ask for boobs more often. Thank you very much. And congratulations on the platinum of I said Astro Boy, Astrobot.
I can't help but bounce with her. That one's my favorite one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
This lady here?
Yeah.
Me too. All right. Day 3 in the book, Steph. You're killing it.
Yep.
Guys, thank you very much for your support, and major props to NCO Cham and John Kanji, and we got Kane's Brain and Pussy Slayer 3000 over there on the wall, which is great. Thank you guys very much. We're going to get John over there on the wall as well. You guys have been outstanding today. We genuinely appreciate your support. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out. We'll be back tomorrow. I got some more videos of topics we didn't get a chance to hit today. I'll be recording those in a little bit and posting them a little bit later on. With that said, guys, I want you to have a great rest of your day. And great job, Steph. You got anywhere you want to push people? Tell everybody where they can find you.
Well, not Twitch, since I guess Twitch is bad. But you can find me on Kick. You want to go and hang out with me there, yeah, and on YouTube.
It's the lesser of two evils, which is great. All right, you guys go find Steph over there. Appreciate you guys popping in. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. Have a great rest of your day, guys. See you guys later. Bye-bye. I'll do the Blabs thing. Fatality.